Well, Guardian's view on free speech online. A messy compromise. You can place your bets on how they feel about this whole idea. One thing that has been quite fascinating and amusing is ever since Sargon of Akkad and Count Dankula and Paul Joseph Watson have started running around with UKIP, it really has sent the mainstream mindset into a complete tears. They really don't know what to do about it. It's definitely had the effect I'm sure they were going for, which is just everyone just losing their shit. And it's just it's fucking mad. It's mad. It is mad. And it's kind of shown how sort of two-dimensional, I guess, a lot of legacy media is, and establishment types are, because it's like the only thing they can do against this sort of onset of chaos that seems to be coming is just use the same tactics over and over again. All they can do is label them far right and bring up one thing. Especially with Sargon, it's just that non-rape tweet from 3 years ago, or whatever it is, where he said he wouldn't rape someone. They'll just cling on to this one thing. It's fascinating. It's really like sent them fucking potty. It sent them absolutely mad. They just don't know what to do about it. They're like, because it is still bizarre. It's like running with UKIP. Like, what is UKIP now? It's so weird. It's bizarre. UKIP has become like I said, like the punk rock party or something? The conservative punk rock party? Fuck knows. It's madness. But yeah, everyone's losing their shit. It is making people lose their shit, which I'm pretty sure is the desired effect. And and what do like your regular average Joes make of all this? Who fucking knows? They are probably very confused, to say the least. What's a YouTuber? What? But anyway, let's read this. Right-wing extremists are now being deprived of their income stream from YouTube advertisements. Not to do so would be worse. So they're being deprived, so not to be deprived would be worse. Right, I see. Well, this isn't anything new, but, they don't really keep up with the times, do they? Alphabet, the company that owns Google and YouTube. See, that's interesting. I never knew that. Maybe I did, and I forgot. But has quietly become one of the most powerful gatekeepers of permitted speech on the planet, along with Facebook and, within China, the Chinese government. This isn't entirely a bad thing. You see again, the worshipping of massive corporations is apparently the new socialist ideal. Is to worship massive corporations. We live in very, very upside down, topsy-turvy times, don't we? This isn't entirely a bad thing. Everyone agrees there are some things that have no place online. Well, there are some things that have no place anywhere, like child pornography and beheadings. But it's not just online, is it? Everyone agrees. Although different cultures and different countries have varying and often entirely incompatible rules about permissible speech, but an entirely uncensored internet would be a disaster for society. Would it be a disaster for society? An entirely uncensored internet, would it be a complete disaster? Because life generally is uncensored. It's just, whether you get found out or not. You can still do plenty of things. It's just if you get caught doing it. I don't know. There's stuff that need to get rid of, obviously. Governments want their rules enforced, and the advertising businesses that have become the giants of social media are the players who can enforce them. If Google, Facebook, and Twitter all decide to ban a person, their public profile will be extinguished, and they will, in effect, disappear. Such a person may still exist on the internet, but only on the margins. There is a halfway house between complete extinction and freedom. YouTube can choose as a private company not to show any advertisements against a particular channel, and even to keep for itself the donations some people make to see their comments prominently featured below a video. No, it's not. That's super chat. Okay, the donations. Maybe you can. Well, probably people do donate to be top comment. Maybe sometimes. I don't know. Never tried it. But I think you're sort of getting two things confused there. I would put my money on. These sanctions were last week imposed on Carl Benjamin, Sargon of Akkad. Don't worry, I'll do your work for you. The UKIP candidate for MEP, who's repeatedly discussed raping the Labour MP Jess Phillips. Well, no, he hasn't. He hasn't repeatedly discussed it. He's been repeatedly asked about it, which is a big difference to just openly going, hey, shall we talk about that tweet I sent out a few years ago? You're asking him about it. Okay. It is right that he should not be able to profit from such disgusting misogyny. Well. I don't need to explain the whole ins and outs of it. It was a provocative thing to do, to say, I wouldn't rape you, is what he said, because he knew it would cause outrage. It did. It's a non-threat, so it's not even illegal to say, it's not even a threat. It's sort of a throwaway. It's not throwaway, but it's silly in itself. But he knew it would cause outrage, obviously. But at the same time, it says, I wouldn't rape you, as in I wouldn't do that to you. Which makes this whole thing even more bizarre, because they're saying, because now the narrative is, you talked about raping an MP. I said, no, I talked about not raping an MP. Which is kind of a weird thing, because there was a point where I think MPs in Westminster were asked to sign a disclosure saying I am not a racist, as a legal binding thing to claim, to outright say, legally I affirm I am not a racist. And people didn't sign it because if you sign something saying I am not a racist, and then you get accused of being a racist, and it's a subjective matter of whether you're a racist or not, because stuff is still subjective, you can get fucked in the ass because you outwardly declares you're not a racist. So it's kind of on those lines of having to say, I am not a rapist. I wouldn't rape you. It's like, okay, good. Why did you feel you need to say it? But then why do you feel you need to be asked it? Like when they go, do you like black people? It's like, right, well, just all black people just indiscriminately like everybody? These kind of things, I suppose. Anyway, such advertising bans, known as demonetizations, can be financially disastrous. The stars of social media can make thousands of pounds a month from their performances, even when they are not at the very top, where real fortunes are made. This must itself tend to drive more extreme and attention-grabbing stunts, just as the company's notorious recommendation algorithms do. After all, the notorious recommendation algorithms. I wonder where that link leads to. Probably that bullshit fucking nonsense of the apparently watching Joe Rogan takes you on a path into the realms of the KKK. Right, okay. There's extreme and attention-grabbing stunts. So what are these stunts you're talking about? Any examples of stunts? Where you talk about subject matters, video titles? Is it kind of like, sort of clickbait article, culture that we have now? Wouldn't that be sort of similar? After all, no one is forced to watch YouTube. We go there for entertainment. Yeah, you're not forced to watch it. The notorious recommendation algorithms do. But yeah, this is The Guardian, and it's an echo chamber of the same fucking ideas. So, how can you, shit on an algorithm that will take you, keep recommending videos to you of what you like? To change a YouTube algorithm, it doesn't take much. I've done it. You can just think, I fancy watching this today, and suddenly it just, it takes you on a wormhole to somewhere else, and then on your recommendeds, you just got totally new shit. Today, I just for a laugh, I was like, do you know what? Does FaceBank still upload videos? I had a look, and all of a sudden, I watched that, and I watched a Jake Paul one, I think, And then, because it was him and Jake Paul together, I was like, oh, let's see what Jake Paul's up to these days. Apparently fucking banging Tana Mojo. So I was like, what is going on? Didn't report that on Drama Alert, I don't think. Well, I watched that for a while. Anyway, and then something I'm recommended, it's just, bullshit for 12-year-olds. Job done. The cleverness of the alt-right movement has been to adopt the techniques of the entertainment industry into selling opinions in the same way that personalities are used to sell anything else on social media. Yeah, sell opinions, that's right. They turn extremism into a community soap opera. Yeah, that's what they do, yeah, extremism into a community soap opera, that's right, yeah. This isn't a matter of slick production. Just as television pioneered the idea of news and opinions delivered by a friendly presence in the family living room, social media on phones offers everyone a friendly presence who will always be with them. Sincerity is the magic ingredient here, even, perhaps especially, if what's being sold is a range of cosmetics. Right, okay. So sincerity. So you're having a go at... So, was it? So sincerity. So sincerity is the magic ingredient to sell opinions. So if you're sincere about your opinions, if you're being sincere about your opinions, then people are going to listen to your opinions because you're being sincere. Whereas what? So what's huh? So what is it? So sincerity is the magic ingredient here. So you don't like them for being sincere about what they believe in. You'd rather, what? Is that the problem? What's the problem? What's your problem? Anyway, outside the world of politics, the latest high-profile row on YouTube has been between two cosmetic bloggers, Tassie Westbrook and a 37-year-old woman, and James Charles. Of course, James Charles. 90-year-old man. Both have millions of followers eager to learn how to conceal their blemishes of body or soul, and the friendship was a beautiful thing until he missed the chance to promote one of her lines of vitamin pills in favor of rival companies. They no longer kiss. They will not make up. YouTube's governance and algorithms are well designed to deal with spats like that, but they were not built to regulate political speech, and hacking them to do so will be a messy and imperfect process. The pressures that democratic societies exert can also be used by tyrannies, but the alternatives look worse. Wow. This is real. This is a real article. This is real. How do I process this? Because like I said, I always come into this not really looking into it. I just go off the top of my head and think, how does this make me feel? The fact is that they just threw in this row between James Charles and that tatty bird is fascinating to say the least. As if that's like trying to make, oh, look at this valid point, look at this, look at what I've done here. Look at what I've done here. Yeah, YouTube's governance and algorithms are well designed to deal with spats like that. Right, okay. They work, so, yeah. But they're not built to regulate political speech. Regulate political speech. Regulate political speech. Political speech that you don't agree with, you think should be regulated. That's what you said. This is what you're saying. Look at the title of this. Views on speech online, a messy compromise. They think it's good that people don't get advertising revenue because they have an opinion that you disagree with. Okay. All you've referred to. The only way you've put across your argument or whatever it is, I don't even know if it's an argument. You know, you obviously want these people deplatformed. You're quite happy about it. You want these massive corporations to control the fucking public landscape of discourse. So Sargon tweeted 3 years ago, and you think he shouldn't make any money because of that one tweet. That wasn't even a threat. You think that's fine. You label them as alt-right and far-right, even though Sargon basically got booted off Patreon for calling members of the alt-right who despise him a bunch of M-bombs to try and make a point there. I think every time he's tried to make a point and use provocative language, it's bitten him on the ass a bit. But yeah, I can see where he's coming from. Like, but you know, he's a big boy. He can live with that. You can live with that. It's fascinating how you just would label these people and call for what they have to say to be regulated, not what you have to say. What if they say what you have to say should be regulated because you're spouting nonsense? What about socialism? What about socialist ideas that are on the interwebs? And that should be regulated. You want everything to be regulated? Conspiracy theories to be regulated? You know, conspiracy theories kind of do open our minds. I have problems with conspiracy theories, but you know, the fact is, everything starts as a theory, doesn't it? A lot of things start as theories, sometimes become facts. Like, you want them regulated. The pressures that democratic societies exert can also be used by tyrannies, but the alternatives look worse. The weirdest thing is that sincerity is the magic ingredient here. Even perhaps especially if what's being sold is a range of cosmetics. Sincerity. They turn extremism into a community soap opera. So they use a trick of the entertainment industry into selling opinions the same way that personalities are used to sell anything else on social media. Selling opinions. The trick of the entertainment industry to selling opinions. This is an opinion piece on the fucking Guardian. The Guardian View. An opinion piece. You're selling opinions yourself. You have a donation that's the financial platform. That's the economic platform for the Guardian these days, is donations. You're selling opinions. Your opinions aren't the right opinions. You should be regulated and deplatformed. How about that? Because you don't like someone's opinion, it's just like take away their income, have them deplatformed, have them censored, have them snuffed. Why is it outright call for murder? Why not? You don't want them to earn money. You don't want them to have a voice. You don't want their faces to be seen. Why aren't you calling for them to be dead? Why don't you grow a pair? Like, it's fascinating. It's fascinating that you'd say this. They're not built to regulate political speech. But you say hacking them to do so will be a messy and imperfect process. So you want governments to pressurize these companies to regulate. You see, this is the thing. People are saying that now, you know, these corporations have got too big and it's time for the governments to step in. This is kind of getting to that case. But the problem is what the governments are going to be pressurized into doing. And, you know, they're talking about all these political voices being silenced. But what if the governments come in and silence even more? That's the problem we face now. It's a huge problem. It may be a case with YouTube and their algorithm fuck-ups and the demonetization. You know, I have seen some stuff about selling things to advertisers become tricky. I think YouTube may be a victim of rampant bots. And don't forget that YouTube has come under attack itself from the Wall Street Journal, from other big corporations who fear YouTube as an organization. You know, these are big corporations fighting each other for domination of the landscape. And what the Wall Street Journal did to PewDiePie was an attack on YouTube. And YouTube made they cowered to these advertisers who are, you know, probably a lot of the advertisers are probably owned by the same people that own the Wall Street Journal, you know. But it was an attack on them. They just used PewDiePie as just the the best way in to attack. Obviously, he's the biggest guy on there. Appeals to a younger audience. Easy target. But there was an attack on them. And they've been having to sort of deal with it for a while. So you've got to kind of like have some sort of, not just asking to have compassion for a massive fucking corporation, but to feel like, they're walking this very strange tightrope. This type of platform didn't exist that long ago. So many people have become millionaires. So many people are jealous and envious and hateful. You're only successful if you've got a whole bunch of haters. That's Cat Williams. It's like, when Cat Williams is like, he says, if you don't hate anybody, hate me. The more haters I have, it's something like that. He talks about haters. It's fucking great. The fact is that it's all just been haterville. Guardian's the biggest bunch of fucking haters out there. They're bigger haters than the Daily Mail, which is saying something. Daily Mail is, is a rag. But fuck me, what is the Guardian? This. Terrifying that people are cool for this kind of thing. This is what they want. They think this is just. They're cool, and this is the problem. Every time people are happy with certain regulations getting put in place because it goes against their enemies, they don't realize it will be used upon them. Your hatred for your enemies is your downfall. Those people that you disagree with, you turned into enemies. You try to destroy them, and eventually you're going to destroy yourself. Because all this hatred, all this hating, isn't healthy for you. It's very bad for you. You say they're hate preachers, but what they actually do is trying to get their side across and speak for a narrative that isn't being said. That's what they're doing. That's their mission. You say it's because it's earning them loads of money. Well, no, they'd earn way more money if they toned it fucking down. Constantly being deplatformed. Constant attacks. They could never get regular jobs. But they're unemployable now because of this state. That ain't good enough for you. But you think they're hateful towards the cultures and ideologies that they criticize. Well, they're not hateful towards it. They just, I've watched their content. It's more they're just concerned about it and don't like they don't like. They just don't like it. They don't hate it. They don't like it, and they don't like what's happening. Like a lot of people don't like certain things that are happening. But people like you are haters. Like you hate Sargon as much as you hate James Charles. You hate both of them. You hate all of them. You hate all of this new media stuff. That's why you constantly attack them. All of them. It's always an attack. Guardian attacked fucking Zoella, as I've said. He's not attacking Zoella. Who are you? I'm not going to listen to someone who's that hateful that they're going to hate on Zoella. What the fuck? Imagine that. You're that hateful, you're hating on Zoella. Well, that's the Guardian for you. And the Daily Mail. All of them. Come on. Yeah, your hatred will be the downfall of you. Hatred is bad. Your hatred is poison. See, I don't hate you. I pity you. I don't like what you do. I don't respect it. I think it's dangerous. But I don't even hate you. I pity you. That's worse than being hated. It's being pitied.